Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and today we're going to talk about the X1 credit card, and according to them, it's the world's smartest credit card ever. And by the way guys, as you guys probably already know, I have some credit cards myself, and on top of that, my wallet only fits around 12 cards. So I want to make sure whatever credit card I put in this wallet right here, by the way, link in the description, I want to make sure is actually worthy of being in here. So in this video, I'm going to go over the facts about this credit card. Is it good? Is it worth it? Is it bad? And by the way guys, this credit card right in here is not available until winter of 2020. And whenever you hear about a wait list, hey, just subscribe, see if you actually can get it. There's a wait list. Usually it's just to build anticipation, and on top of that, also tell investors, hey, we actually have interest. Do you want to give us more money? That's usually why a wait list actually exists. Let's go over everything in this video right here. Now, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so make sure also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified, and on top of that, also destroy the like button. Now let's get right into the video guys, okay? And the first question I had when looking up this card, aside from like, hey, it's metal, oh my gosh, it's so cool, the first question I had was basically, well, is this company actually legit, okay? Is it actually a good company? Is it real, or is it a scam? So the first thing I did was basically, I went on Google and I found articles and I read every single one of them. I kind of launched my mini investigation, but what I found out was this guys, okay? On Yahoo Finance, you'll read an article that says basically, the X1 credit card is basically backed by the co-founder of PayPal, people that used to work on Twitter and also Instagram. So obviously there are some big names attached to the entire company here. And on top of that, when I went to the Twitter account of basically the ex-PayPal co-founder, I found that basically the people in charge of the entire X1 credit card are basically these two guys right here, which I don't know that much about, but this guy right here and also this guy right here is also in charge of the entire X1 credit card. And I must admit, I don't really know that much about them, but I do know a lot about the co-founder of PayPal, also the head of product of Instagram, and also the former COO of Twitter. So obviously it's legit, it's a real company, so let's just get that right out the way. So now let's get into the actual details of the credit card and what I actually think about it. I'm gonna go, for example, from their credit line, how they're gonna do that, and also the gimmicks they have, and on top of that, lastly, what I think about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you sign up? And on top of that, as always, the points. Are the points good? Are they competitive? Are they great? Are they bad? I'm going to go over all the details, but let's start at the beginning, okay? The thing that people are most excited about is that basically the entire credit card, by the way, here it is. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my God, look at it, guys. It's so awesome, right? It does look cool, I have to admit it. But the biggest thing is this, okay, guys? They're promising higher limits compared to what your credit score would actually give you, because the idea is that they're going to give you a limit not based just on your credit score, but based on how much money you actually make today and also in the future. So basically based on your income. So I wanted to find out, well, how are they actually doing this? Okay, the idea is that the more money you make, the higher your limit is going to be. So for example, if you have a bad credit score, but you have a decent income, the idea is you should also have a decent credit line also. That's the core foundation here. But I wanted to find out, well, how exactly are they going to give out this entire credit line? So I did another mini investigation, and again, I went to Google because that's where you do all the investigation. So I found this article by TechCrunch that basically said the people that actually work with the X1 card and actually built it are the same people that built the entire app called Thrive. Now, I never heard about this company, so again, I went on Google and found out. By the way, guys, if you guys don't know this, Google has all the answers, so as long as you're looking up the correct things, you're going to find out exactly what the company is all about, and that's what I basically do. So I went online and I found the company Thrive. So basically, if you guys never heard about Thrive, neither have I in the past, but the idea is that they provide money for students that are going to go ahead and get an internship that's going to be paid, or for example, have a job offer already on the line. And the core idea is that they lend you money based on how much money you actually are going to make. Sounds like the X1 card, right? So that's what I'm saying. this is my theory when it comes to how much money they're actually going to give you. So in this case, the entire idea of this company is that basically they'll lend you money based on how much money you actually make. And in this case, it's going to be, for example, for a full-time job is going to be 25% of the first 3 months salary. So when I found this out, I kind of assumed that basically the credit card would use the same theory. So whatever your 3 month salary is, they'll basically take 25% of that, and that's going to be your credit line. However, some people on Reddit said, for example, it's going to be your first 3 paychecks. Here it is right here. And they're going to take 25% of that and then basically give you that as your credit line. But in reality, I highly doubt that, and here's why. Because, for example, the idea is that if Reddit is correct, and it's like, for example, $1,000 you make every single week, and you have 3 paychecks, you know, over 3 times, right? Times 3, and they're gonna give you 25% of that. Well, in reality, 25% of $3,000 is only $750. So that wouldn't be a very high credit line if you actually ask me. So my theory of 3 months paycheck is actually a lot more believable. That's what I think about it, okay? So say, for example, again, you make $1,000 every single week, and over a month, you make $4,000. So over 3 months, you're going to make around $12,000. So if we do the 25% rule, well, times 0.25, they're going to give you a credit line of approximately $3,000. So if it is going to work like this, well, it's not that bad, okay? You're gonna have a decent credit score. But the core foundation here and the core problem here is that basically, well, what if someone has a very high income but has a ton of debts and doesn't have enough money to actually pay you guys back? And then that is where the whole risk comes in. And I couldn't understand it. So that's why when I went to the X1 credit card website and I scroll all the way down, because that's usually where all the information is actually hidden at the bottom of the page in the very tiny notes, and I zoomed in like crazy to actually see this. But the answer is, guys, right here it says this, okay? Actual credit limits are subject to credit card approval and also underwriting, which means that before they actually give you this credit line based on 25% of your income, they might have to review exactly how much money you owe and all those factors, because basically you can make a lot of money, but you can still owe a ton of money. And then that would be a huge problem for the entire credit card company, okay? So if you ask me, Tommy, how do you think they're actually gonna do the entire credit line thing? It might be, theory here, by the way, on 25% of 3 months of your salary. And that might be maybe after tax or before tax. I'm not sure. There's not enough information out there, but that is the core idea. And if it is like that, they still have to review it, because hey, you might have a good salary, but we can't give you that much money because basically you don't have enough money to actually pay it back. So it's gonna be some form of review with your credit score also, but also taking your income into play. That's the way I see this actually playing out. So it might actually give you a higher credit line than the credit score system might actually give you by including also your income. But I do still think they're actually still going to use your credit score. I'm just putting that out there. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is basically all the little gimmicks and cosmetic things this credit card is actually offering. For example, guys, okay, here is the entire website with the entire credit card. And the first thing you see here is basically 17 grams of pure stainless steel. Now, I had a credit card like this one before. It was the Amazon one. And yes, it did look cool and it did feel cool. But in reality, guys, answer me this question here. If you have Apple Pay or Samsung Pay or Google Pay, when was the last time you actually used a normal credit card, or even, for example, a debit card? So although you do have a cool credit card, oh my gosh, it's steel, that doesn't really matter that much, although it is cool. But in the future, I think like, hey, you have a credit card just in case your Apple Pay doesn't work or your phone dies, okay? But usually credit cards are becoming more and more obsolete, okay? At least the entire like physical credit card, because of Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and also Google Pay. A lot more safer, secure, and that way you don't have to worry about like, hey, I lost my credit card, or hey, I can't find my credit card, okay? That's the entire point here. Now, the second thing that I do find cool, guys, is basically the entire virtual credit cards and also the entire like one-time use virtual credit cards. So the idea is that if you go on the entire app, you can actually create a virtual card that's linked to your card, but only for one-time use. So basically, if I want to go shop at a website, and I basically don't trust the website, right? why would I put in my credit card information and risk of them actually stealing my entire information? Okay, so this way I go on the app, I create this virtual card with a limit of the certain amount I actually want to put into it, and that's it. They use a credit card, the company, if they try to steal the money back from me, well, they can't, because that credit card has a limit on the amount they can actually request from it. So to me, that is pretty cool. And on top of that, to actually have, for example, trials set up with that stuff, that way the trial can charge you more money, that is actually pretty cool also. But if you sign a contract, it might be very complicated, so just keep that in mind. And the second thing that I actually do like about the entire thing is the entire cancel subscriptions with one click, and also get refund notifications, okay? Now, the idea is, guys, that whenever I request a refund from Amazon, I never know if I got the refund unless I go on my app and scroll all the way through. So to get a refund notification is pretty cool, but any app can actually do that. If Chase does this, it wouldn't be that difficult to actually do, but to actually cancel something, subscription, with one click is actually pretty cool. For example, my girlfriend had to go all the way to the gym to then go and cancel it. But if you could have done that just with one click, that would be pretty cool also. And the last thing, the last gimmick here in a way, is basically the entire, like, hey, attach receipts and you can spend anonymously. Because basically, if you have Apple Pay, they already hide your information anonymously. That way you don't have to worry about it. And also the whole receipts thing, well, Chase already does that also. So the big things I'm looking forward to are basically the virtual cards and also canceling subscriptions. But again, all of these features are features that any credit card company, the Apple card, the Citi card, the Chase cards, any card out there, or Discover cards, can basically just take and add it to their scenarios. And that way, then what is going to make this credit card special? It might just become standard, although right now it does look pretty cool. And that's what's kind of like, that's why I call it a gimmick and not really something that's gonna make me say, hey, I have to get this credit card. But now, lastly, guys, let's talk about why you're actually here. Tommy, they're offering the best points in the entire game, okay? Because right here is saying we can earn between 2 points all the way to 4 points. Now, let's break this down, guys, okay? By the way, earning 2 points on every dollar you spend is pretty cool if you ask me. So if I want to buy anything with my credit card, that's 2 points. That's pretty cool. But we do have to remember that basically the Citi card does offer 2 points on everything you actually do buy. But the only catch is you get 1 point when you buy it and 1 point when you pay back for it. So I'm assuming that if you're going to get this card, you're still going to basically buy and pay off in full every single month to avoid the interest. So this 2 points does not make it that cool if you ask me. But the 3 points, it was actually pretty clever, okay? And here it is, okay? You get 3 points if you spend around $15,000 plus in 1 year. Now, if you ask me, guys, okay, I'm a very reasonable person, and I can tell you this, okay? I don't know anyone that spends $15,000 on a credit card every single year, okay? I don't know anyone, especially me. I don't spend this much money at all, period. So to make it like 15K to earn 3x points, although it sounds pretty cool and tempting, the idea is that the average person in no way is going to spend that much money. But I wanted to prove it to you guys by showing you guys this right here. For example, here is the consumer report, guys, okay? If we scroll all the way down, the average person only spends around 4K on groceries, 4K on utilities, and also 3K on restaurants. By the way, Tommy, but I'll put everything on my credit card. That way I will get all the points. But again, guys, okay, this is based on a household of maybe 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people, okay? So what are you gonna do? Like have everyone put their bills on one card? Doesn't really make sense, right? So the idea that everyone is going to spend 15K every single year is actually very unlikely. And the last thing here, guys, is basically, well, Tommy, at least I can actually get 4x points, right? But in reality, guys, to get 4x points unlocked, right, 30 days of 4x points, by the way. And the only way to get it is to basically go ahead and refer one of your friends. So for example, if I'm a YouTuber, I make a video about it, I refer you, then basically for 30 days, I can get 4x points. If I refer 12 people every single year for 30 days of those 12 years, whatever, I get 4x points. But again, that's 12 people every single year to basically get 4x points for the entire year. How likely is that? Okay, do you know 12 people that are actually going to register for this? The answer is probably no, unless you're going to go out there and knock people's doors and say, hey, you should get the X1 card, right? But most likely, you're not going to do that. So that's usually why I don't like referral based points, and I'd rather, for example, you say, hey, you got 4x points if you do this, that you can actually do, like pay your credit card off in full every single month or whatever it is, or spend this much money. But I don't like the whole thing where I have to refer someone to then get something, because usually, guys, let's be honest here, okay? Unless you're a YouTuber or you know a lot of people out there, you don't know 12 people that want this credit card that basically are going to get you that 4x points for the entire year. And that's why usually I don't like the whole point structure of things, okay? But overall, Tommy, what do you think about this credit card? Do you like it? Do you think it's good? And are you actually going to go ahead and get it? Here's what I think, guys, okay? I think the gimmicks are pretty cool. For example, the virtual cards, the privacy, the receipts, and all that stuff. It sounds pretty cool. But again, those are all things other credit cards can basically go ahead and do also. So it's nothing like, oh my God, only they are going to have it. No. I think having a stainless steel card, although it is cool, I haven't used a credit card or a debit card like physically in months because of Apple Pay, Google Pay, and also Samsung Pay. So that doesn't really intrigue me that much. And when it comes to the points, I do think the points are pretty cool by giving you 2x points, but there's no way I'm going to spend 15K to get 3x points. Or for example, work for the company for a whole year to get 4x points by referring 12 people every single year. Again, I don't like that. But what I do like is the idea of mixing your credit score with how much money you earn to basically give you a higher credit line. But this only makes sense if you still do use a credit score, because you can't do it without it, because basically you won't know how much real income that person has to actually give it to you, okay? And by the way, how are they going to confirm your income? Is it going to be with pay stubs, your tax return? How are they going to do that, okay? That's also something to consider. So guys, comment down below and let me know, what do you think? And by the way, Tommy, are you gonna get it? The answer is no. Unless I'm gonna spend 15K in 1 year, it makes no sense. And unless I'm going to refer people for the company, it makes no sense either. So right now, the answer is no, 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 no. I'm gonna keep the credit cards I currently have and basically just keep doing the whole auto pay with a few bills, because at the end of the day, all I want to do with my credit cards is just rack up some points, yes, but also just build my credit score up and basically have them all in good standing. So do I need another credit card? The answer is this credit card is not going to make me go ahead and get the card. But if it has something like crazy, like hey, 3x points for the whole year or a bonus or something like that, then maybe I would get this card. But guys, comment down below and let me know, are you going to get this credit card? Do you like it? Is it that enticing? Comment down below, let me know. Is it the stainless steel? Be honest. And on top of like this video right here, well, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And if you want to text me or talk to me one-on-one, just subscribe to my Patreon, link down below. Or for example, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But before I go, if you want to watch a video on how to build up your credit score in 10 minutes, watch this video right here. And see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.